in the last lecture we have finished the design problem for unit number 6. Okay, we have designed the beam which is acting on by shear force, twisting moment and bending moment. That type of only single problem will be there in the unit number 6. Now we will move to the design of columns next unit. Okay, unit number 7, design of columns. So here also only two types of numericals are there. That is the design of normal column and design of helical column. Okay. So those two types of numericals are there in this unit also. So that we will finish up. We will try to finish up today itself. Okay. So now what is the column? First thing. So a member which carries a load perpendicular to its length. Okay, a member which carries a load not perpendicular, perpendicular to its length is beam and along its length is column. Okay. Suppose if I draw the column over, this is the column. So this is nothing but the length of the column. This is the length of the column. And if I draw the centroidal axis or neutral axis of the column, and this is the axis of the column. Okay, this is called as, this is nothing but your axis of column. Okay. Now, if the load is acting on this column, and if the load is acting along this axis, suppose now in this way the load is acting. This is your load P. Okay. Now, this is the active load which is acting along the axis of the column. Okay. So, along the axis of the column means what? Here, the eccentricity of the load is 0. How do we calculate the eccentricity? Eccentricity is if the load is acting either from this axis to the right hand side or onto the left hand side at a some distance, then that will be the eccentricity. Now in this case, if you see, the column is there and on this column the load is acting, it is perfectly acting along the axis of the column. So this is the concentric load which is acting along the axis of the column. Okay. So here the eccentricity is 0. Here you can see the eccentricity is 0. Okay. So if we want to calculate the direct stress sigma 0, so your direct stress will be P by A in this case, and your bending stress sigma B. How do we calculate the bending stress? It is M by Z. M means what? It is P into E by Z. And if the eccentricity is 0, then your sigma B must be 0. Okay. So this is about the when the load is acting perfectly along the axis of the column. Okay, but this is the ideal condition. This condition does not happen. Okay, this is ideal condition. So now, if you see second case, suppose now the same column is there. Now we will draw the axis of the column again. This is the axis of the column. This is the axis. And now you can imagine, suppose the load is acting over here. Suppose now the load is acting over here. This is the direction of action of the load. This is your load P. Now here you can see this load is not exactly acting along the axis of the column. Okay, so it is acting at a some distance from the axis. Let us say that this some distance is nothing but this is your eccentricity. This is your eccentricity E. Okay, so now in this case, if you see your eccentricity is present, E is present over here. It is non-zero value. Now here if you calculate the direct stress, it will remain same. Direct stress is P by A. But if you are calculating the bending stress sigma B, it will be P into E by Z due to the eccentricity M by Z. So in the first case, your eccentricity is 0, so sigma B is 0. But in the second case, your eccentricity is not 0. Okay, so your sigma B is present over here. So now this is the condition which we come across, the condition number 2. This is the condition which always we came across while designing the column. The first condition is the ideal condition. Okay. Now next is the cover for the column. Cover for the column is always taken as 40 mm cover. The clear cover for the column is taken as 40 mm. Okay. And the minimum eccentricity for the column is taken as E minimum. Okay. When the effective length of the column is not given, see, when I will write here, you also write down, this is the important point, when effective length, when the effective length of column is not given, then the E minimum is always taken as 20 mm. This minimum eccentricity is always present because there is no column in this world which is having eccentricity 0. In column, somewhat eccentricity is always present. There will be never matching of the axis of the column with the line of action of load. Okay. So when the effective length of the column is not given, then E minimum is always taken as 20 mm. Okay. But when the effective length when the effective length of column is given, then then your E minimum is taken as, then your E minimum, first I will write here, your E minimum is equal to, the formula is there which is given in the IS code, clause number 25.4. Okay, this is according to clause number 25.4. E minimum is L effective, your effective length of the column, divided by 500 plus D by 30. Okay. And secondly, as usual, E minimum should be taken as 20 mm. It is to be taken as 20 mm. So finally, consider, for E minimum we will consider greater value for E minimum from 1 and 2. So in this case, when your effective length of the column is given, we are using this formula for E minimum, and we will consider the greater value for the E minimum. ओके, हे काय चाललंय ई मिनिमम, ई म्हणजे काय चाललंय तर इथं व्हॉट आय एम ट्राइंग टू से टेल यू की जगातला कुठलाही कॉलम असा नाहीये की ज्याला इसेंट्रिसिटी 0 आहे. इसेंट्रिसिटी ही नेहमी प्रेझेंट असणारच. मिनिमम इसेंट्रिसिटी किती घेतली जाते तर मिनिमम इसेंट्रिसिटी असते 20 mm. ही मिनिमम इसेंट्रिसिटी कधी, जेव्हा इफेक्टिव्ह लेंथ ही कॉलमची दिलेली नसेल त्यावेळेला, when the effective length of the column is not given, at that time you should take E minimum as 20 mm. This is also specified by the IS code. And when the effective length of the column is given, then you have to use these two, 1 and 2. You have to calculate the E minimum by using the formula, and the minimum value for E minimum is 20 mm. So greater value from these two you should consider as a E minimum. Okay. And the actual eccentricity E should be greater than E minimum. Okay, it should be greater than E minimum. So now we will move to the IS code so that this clause we can see in the IS code also. So I will open the IS code, just 1 second. Okay, so now in the IS code we will go to clause number 25.4 first. Okay, here you can see that minimum eccentricity, the clause is given over here. Okay. So here the clause is given, whatever we have seen right now. So what does this say? All the columns shall be designed for the minimum eccentricity equal to unsupported length of the column, okay, divided by 500 plus lateral dimensions divided by 630, subjected to minimum of 20 mm. Okay, so unsupported length means what? Effective length. Okay, so this length L divided by 500 plus lateral dimension, that is D by 30. Okay, lateral dimension means what? Cross sectional dimension, B and D. Suppose this is the cross section of the column is there. So now your this dimension, this is B and this is D. So these are the lateral dimensions. These are called as lateral dimensions. Okay, and minimum 20 mm. Here you can see a minimum of 20 mm. Minimum of 20 mm. So this is given in the IS code. Okay, so this is clause number 25.4. What I have told you just now, right? Okay, and your E minimum should be less than equal to E. Okay, and this E is calculated as E is equal to 0.05 D. Okay, this E is equal to 0.05 D. Okay, so please note down these things. These are very important things, and only once I am going to explain this in the IS code which clause are required. Next, while solving the problem, you should refer by your own by these IS codes. Okay, I am directly going to use the clause. So write the clause number. Whatever I am writing here, take it down as a note. Okay. So now moving further, this is for minimum eccentricity. Okay. Same way, if you go to clause number 39.3, it will specify use the load carrying capacity of the column. Okay. Clause number 39. To go to the clause number 39.3. Here somewhere is there. This is 39.5. This is the 39.4. This it is required when helical reinforcement for helical columns, that I will tell you later on. So now here you can see this clause, this formula. This is the load carrying capacity of the column. Okay, the member shall be the member shall be designed by considering the assumptions in given 39.1 and the minimum eccentricity. When the minimum eccentricity as per 29.4 does not exceed 0.05 times the lateral dimension, the member may be designed by the following equation. म्हणजे काय सांगितलंय की जी तुम्ही इसेंट्रिसिटी कॅल्क्युलेट करताय बाय 25.4 ह्याच्यावरनं जी मिनिमम इसेंट्रिसिटी तुम्ही कॅल्क्युलेट करताय, मिनिमम इसेंट्रिसिटीचा मी तुम्हाला फॉर्म्युला ऑलरेडी सांगितला. इट इज ऑल्सो गिवन इन 25.4. ओके, it does not exceed, नीट वाचा, does not exceed 0.05 times the lateral dimension. म्हणजे हे जर लेस असेल पुन्हापेक्षा 0.05 टाइम्स डी. ओके, तर ह्यालाच आपण काय म्हणतो, 0.05 टाइम्स डी च्या ऐवजी ह्याला आपण एक नोटेशन वापरलेलं आहे ई. इफ युअर ई मिनिमम इज लेस दॅन ई, वेअर वेअर ई इज इक्वल टू 0.05 टाइम्स डी. आता हे कुठून आलं, E is equal to 0.5 times D तर हे इथं दिलेलं आहे. Okay, जर ही कंडिशन सॅटिस्फाय होत असेल, if your E minimum is less than or equal to 0.05 D or E, then you can use this formula. What does this formula say? PU, that is the axial load on the member. PU is equal to 0.4 FCK into AC. FCK, you know that AC means what? Area of concrete plus 0.67 FY into ASC. FY you already know, ASC means area of steel. Okay, ASC means area of steel in compression zone. Okay, so by using this formula, you can calculate the load carrying capacity of the column. Okay, so for the load carrying capacity of the column, you need to refer this clause 39.3. Okay, 39.3. So now moving further, now we will see two types of reinforcements are provided in the column. Okay, if you closely see the column, if I draw the diagram, suppose now this is the column. Okay, and inside the column, the stirrups are provided. Okay, stirrups is provided. This we have already seen in case of beams also. Stirrups are provided, and then the reinforcement is provided like this. This is the reinforcement bars in the column. This is the reinforcement bars. So the bars which are provided, these are called as longitudinal reinforcement. This is called as longitudinal reinforcement. Okay, and the stirrups which are provided over here, stirrups, these are called as transverse reinforcement. These are called as transverse reinforcement. This is the cross section of column. Okay, so in the column, whatever the bars you are providing, those are called as longitudinal reinforcement. And whatever the stirrups are provided or rings are provided, that is called as transverse reinforcement. मग ह्या दोन longitudinal reinforcement and transverse reinforcement ह्याला provide करायचे पण काही certain clause आहेत. So we will see those clause right now. Okay. So we will go for clause number 26.5.3. Okay. So we will go for 26.5.3. Here you can see column. Okay. So these are the some important. I will read only the important things. So 26.5.3 columns. Okay. Here it is given. So here you can see that the cross-sectional area of longitudinal reinforcement. Longitudinal reinforcement म्हणजे काय? जे आपण bars provide करणार आहेत column मध्ये ते shall not be less than 0.8% nor more than the 6% of the gross cross-sectional area. Okay. आणि काय सांगितलेलं आहे की not less than 0.8%. Okay. आणि more than 6% असायला नाही पाहिजे. म्हणजे जे काही तुम्ही रिइन्फोर्समेंट प्रोव्हाइड करणार आहात कॉलम मध्ये लॉन्जिट्युडिनल रिइन्फोर्समेंट मिनिमम किती असायला पाहिजे इट शुड बी मिनिमम 0.8% and maximum किती असायला पाहिजे maximum it should be 6%. So normally while designing the column we always take this reinforcement in between 1% to 2%. We will assume that the reinforcement in the column is 1% to 2%. Okay, and here they have given gross cross sectional area. Okay, gross cross-sectional area. So cross-sectional area is B into D. So gross cross-sectional area means overall width into overall depth. That is your gross cross-sectional area. Okay. Then again the most important thing is this D point. If you see, you read all these clause afterwards, but I will highlight the main clause. The bar diameter shall not be less than 12 mm. कॉलम मधला बार डायमीटर हे 12 mm पेक्षा जास्त नसायला पाहिजे. Okay, the bar shall not be less than 12 mm in diameter in the column. So this can be also asked for the MCQ. Okay, what is the minimum diameter of the column? So it should be 12 mm. That is your answer should be 12 mm. Okay. Then here they have told us something about the spacing also. So clause G. The spacing of longitudinal bars along the periphery of the column shall not exceed 300 mm. So the maximum spacing is 300 mm for the column bars. Maximum spacing is 300 mm. So all this is for the longitudinal reinforcement. Okay. All this is for the longitudinal reinforcement. Now we will see the transverse reinforcement. Transverse reinforcement म्हणजे rings. So here you can see the clauses are given for the transverse reinforcement. This is the clause for the transverse reinforcement 26.5.3.2. Okay. So the most important clause over here given is this C. Pitch and the diameter of lateral ties. Lateral ties म्हणजे काय? Suppose now this is the column and here in this column the lateral ties means stirrups. The another name for the stirrups is the lateral tie. So this is the lateral tie. This is called as lateral ties. Okay, or this is also called as stirrups. Okay. Now if you see this in the elevation if you want to see this, then it will look like this way. I will draw the elevation below this. So this is the elevation of the column. At the top it is plan is given. Now elevation I am telling you. So in the elevation it will look like this. Okay, these are the rings. So this is called as transverse reinforcement. त्याला म्हणायचं ट्रान्सव्हर्स रिइन्फोर्समेंट. आणि याच्या आतमध्ये जे बार्स असतात जे असे थ्रोआउट गेलेले असणार आहेत. ओके, इथे जर बार्स असतील 4 तर ते बार्स तुम्हाला असे दिसतील इथे 2 बार्स एलिव्हेशन मध्ये. ओके, सो ते बार जे आहेत ते लॉन्जिट्युडिनल रिइन्फोर्समेंट आहेत आणि लॅटरल टाईप जे आहेत दिस इज कॉल्ड ॲज ट्रान्सव्हर्स रिइन्फोर्समेंट. ओके, सो व्हॉट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ पिच? Now here the pitch word is there. The pitch of the transverse reinforcement shall not be more than the least of the following distances. So pitch means what? The center to center distance between the lateral ties. This is called as pitch. Okay. The center to center distance between the lateral ties. This is called as pitch. दोन स्टिरप्स मधलं डिस्टन्स जे आहे किंवा दोन लॅटरल टाईज मधलं डिस्टन्स जे आहे त्याला म्हणायचं पिच. ओके, मग आता ह्या लॅटरल टाईज म्हणजे या स्टिरपचा डायमीटर आणि याचं स्पेसिंग कसं ठरवायचं तर हे यांनी इथं सांगितलंय. फर्स्ट स्पेसिंग म्हणजे पिच अँड सेकंड इज द डायमीटर. So here they told us that the pitch of the transverse reinforcement shall not be more than least of the following distance. Okay, so the least lateral dimension of the compression member. So least lateral dimension means what? Suppose this is the width B and suppose this is the depth D. So या दोघांमधलं जे least dimension असेल ते least dimension इथे येणार. Okay, the pitch should be, the spacing should be least lateral dimensions. If the B is less, then suppose 200 by 300 column is there. 200 by 300 column is there. So what is the least dimension? 200 mm. So your spacing between the stirrups, according to first clause, first number, this first number, it should be 200 because least dimension is 200. Okay. Then 16 times the smallest diameter of the longitudinal reinforcement. 16 times the smallest diameter of the longitudinal reinforcement. So it is 16 times diameter. Okay, D, or you can say here phi also. 16 times phi. But this phi is nothing but it is smallest diameter. So smallest diameter of longitudinal reinforcement. Suppose now if you have provided the longitudinal reinforcement and it carries the diameter of what we can say various diameters. Suppose now you have provided 2 bars of 12 mm and 2 bars of 16 mm. Then who is the smallest? 12 mm is the smallest. So 16 into 12, that will be the spacing in the longitudinal reinforcement. So okay, 16 times the smallest diameter, that will be the spacing. Then 300 mm. In no case it should be 300 mm. Okay, in no case it should be 300 mm. So this is about the spacing. Okay, so this is about the spacing. Then here diameter is also there. So about the diameter you can see over here. The diameter of the polygon links or lateral ties shall not be less than one-fourth of the diameter of largest longitudinal bar. बघा इथं दिलेलं आहे बघा. हे जे तुम्ही डायमीटर यूज करणार आहे लॅटरल टाईजचा. Okay, lateral ties diameter, let us assume this as phi. So it should be minimum one fourth of largest longitudinal bar diameter. Okay, largest longitudinal bar diameter. म्हणजे स्टिरअपचा बार डायमीटर मिनिमम 1/4 पाहिजे याच्या आणि नो केस इट शुड बी लेस दॅन 16 mm. म्हणजे हा जर 16 mm पेक्षा जास्त असेल तर किती ठेवायचा 16 mm. हा जो लिंक लॅटरल टाईपचा डायमीटर जो असणार आहे तो मॅक्सिमम 16 mm असायला पाहिजे. त्याच्या नाहीतर त्याच्यापेक्षा खाली. ओके, इट शुड नॉट बी मोर दॅन 16 mm. Okay, so these are some important clauses which are given over here in the IS code. Now we will take one numerical so that we will understand it better. So it is very easy. Okay. Now I have explained you I think all the rules. So now we will take the numerical and let us see how we are going to solve that. Okay. So I am searching the problem, just a minute. Okay. Design a short axially loaded square column Okay. So design, take down this problem, then we will solve it. Design an axially loaded column of of 500 mm by 500 mm for service load of 2000 kilonewton. 500 mm by 500 mm for the service load means working load. Service load of 2000 kilonewton. Okay. So further they says that use M20 and Fe415. So we need to design this column, design an axially loaded column for this load. Use M20 and Fe415. So we need to design means we have to find out the reinforcement of the column. We have to find out the reinforcement of the column. So P is given as 2000 kilonewton. So calculate the ultimate load. Okay, calculate the ultimate load. So now P is equal to 2000 kilonewton. Therefore, PU ultimate load is equal to 1.5 times 2000. So it will be 3000 kilonewton. Okay. 3000 kilonewton. Then FCK, its value is 20 Newton per mm square, and Fy, it is given as 415 Newton per mm square, that is megapascal. These are the values results. We also know the size of column. It is 500 by 500 mm is the size of column. Okay. So now here you can see L effective is not given. Here I will write here effective length of column is not given. Okay, effective length of the column is not given, comma. Therefore, your E minimum, you should take it as 20 mm. Therefore, your E minimum must be 20 mm. Okay, E minimum eccentricity किती असणार आहे आपली या कॉलमची 20 mm असणार आहे. का 20 mm आहे तर आपल्याला त्यांनी लेंथ दिली नाही इफेक्टिव्ह लेंथ दिली असती तर आपण ते दोन्ही फॉर्म्युले यूज केले असते. L effective upon 500 plus D by 13 एकदा इसेंट्रिसिटी काढली असती आणि E एकदा 20 mm घेतला असता. ह्यांच्यातली जी ग्रेटर व्हॅल्यू आहे ती व्हॅल्यू म्हणजे आपली E मिनिमम म्हणून आपण अडॉप्ट केली असती. ओके, सो नाउ हियर E minimum it is 20 mm. Okay, now calculate the eccentricity E and check whether that E is greater than E minimum or E minimum is greater than E, so that we can calculate the load carrying capacity of the column. Okay, so now my next step is I will calculate E eccentricity. It is it is minimum eccentricity. Now we will calculate the actual eccentricity in the column. So it is 0.05 into D. So this is 0.05 into D. D is 500. So 5 5s are 25. So it is 25 mm. Okay. So therefore, E minimum is less than E. E minimum is less than E. So here I can write therefore clause number 39.3 can be used to calculate load carrying capacity of column. Load carrying capacity of column. Okay, load carrying capacity of column. So हा clause number 39.3 जो आहे तो आपण कधी यूज करू शकतो when your E minimum is less than E or your E minimum is less than 0.05 D. हे कुठून आलं तर हे सगळं IS कोड मध्ये दिलेलं आहे. If you read that clause number 39.3 carefully, okay, नीट एकदा बसून शांत IS कोड वाचून काढा ते सगळं. So you will get an idea. This condition is already specified there in 39.3. So here we have calculated that first of all we have calculated E minimum 20 mm, then we have calculated this E by 0.05 D. We found that our E minimum is less than E, so we can use this clause 39.3. Now what does this clause say? This clause says that axial load PU is equal to PU is equal to, what does it say? PU is equal to 0.4 FCK AC plus 0.67 FY ASC. 0.4 FCK AC plus 0.67 FY ASC. Okay, so this is the clause. This is the clause. If your E minimum, I have got one question. If sir, what if E minimum is not less than E? जर E minimum हा E पेक्षा कमी नसेल तर काय करायचं? So if your E minimum is not less than E, the simple thing is that revise your column dimension. Okay, because the value of E is depending upon 0.05 times D. So once you revise the value of D, your value of E will get changed. This is the first thing. And second thing is that if you want to keep that value as it is, so suppose now your E minimum is not less than E, then you can design that column as a biaxially loaded column, which is not there for your syllabus right now. Triaxial loaded column. For that, along with IS 456, you need to use the SP16. This is also one code, we can say that SP16. Okay, हे पण तुम्हाला वापरावं लागणार कशाबरोबर IS 456 2000 बरोबर. And then you are going to design that column. Okay, so then you are going to design that column. So in short, I have told you, you can design that column as a biaxially loaded column, or also by using the SP16. There is a various tables are given there for the different types of eccentricity, different types of steel percentage is given over there. So from that also you can design the column. Okay. So now let us come back over here. So always, and see, for your syllabus the problems will be like this only, because now you are in third year or final year. For engineering, normally the axially loaded columns are there and uniaxial bending is there only. Okay, so now whenever you come across the condition, you will 100% come across the condition that your E minimum is less than E, 99.99%, and in 1% if you got that value greater, then revise your column dimensions. Okay, so now PU is equal to, okay, this formula I have written over here. Okay, for PU is equal to, then you need to just put the values over here. You know the gross area. Okay, you know the gross area. See, आता इथं बघा, ग्रॉस एरिया मला माहिती आहे AG. व्हॉट इज द ग्रॉस एरिया? ग्रॉस एरिया इज नथिंग बट एरिया ऑफ कॉन्क्रीट प्लस एरिया ऑफ स्टील. एरिया ऑफ कॉन्क्रीट प्लस एरिया ऑफ स्टील म्हणजे काय असणार आहे? माझा ग्रॉस एरिया असणार आहे. ओके, देअरफॉर मला जर AC साठी सबस्टिट्यूट करायचं असेल, सो आय कॅन राईट AC इज इक्वल टू व्हॉट? AG मायनस ASC. टोटल एरिया म्हणजे काय असणार आहे? माझा ग्रॉस एरिया. ग्रॉस एरिया इज नथिंग बट एरिया ऑफ कॉन्क्रीट प्लस एरिया ऑफ स्टील. सो दॅट आय हॅव रिटन ओव्हर हियर. So if I want to calculate the area of steel, then I will put area of concrete in terms of area of steel. Okay, so here you can see the equation is only one equation is there, but unknowns are two: area of concrete and area of steel. 0.4 FCK AC plus 0.67 FYAC. Now what is the problem over here? You can understand this. PU आपल्याला व्हॅल्यू माहिती आहे 3000 किलोन्यूटन. 0.4 FCK कॉन्स्टंट आहे. AC ची व्हॅल्यू माहित नाही. What is the area of concrete? We don't know. We know the total area. 500 by 500 is our gross area. Okay. AC we don't know. We don't know the value of area of steel also AC. So two unknowns are there and one equation is there. So we need to put one of these two values in terms of another, so that we will get the answer. So what I am going to do here, I know that total gross area is nothing but what? Total area means area of concrete plus area of steel. Okay, so therefore for area of concrete I can write AG minus ASC. Okay, so therefore it will be AC is equal to how much? AG, you know that it is 500 by 500. So how much it is? 500 by 500 means what? 500. It is 250 into 10 raised to 3. Okay. So it is 250 into 10 raised to 3. 250 into 10 raised to 3 minus ASC. This is your concrete. So now put the values. So PU is equal to what? 3000 kilonewton. So into 10 raised to 3 it gets converted into Newton. 0.4 as it is. FCK 20 AC. For AC it is 250 into 10 to the power 3 minus AS. Okay, this is our first bracket plus plus 0.67 Fy into ASC as it is. Now solve this equation, you will get the value of area of steel 3703.02 mm square. So this is the area of steel. But you know the clause. Just now we have seen that the minimum reinforcement for column is 0.8% and maximum reinforcement for the column is 6% of gross area. Okay. So minimum का calculate the केला ASC minimum. The ASC minimum किती आहे 0.8%. So 0.8 into 500 2000 mm square. Okay. बघा तोंडी कॅल्क्युलेशन आहे. मिनिमम किती असणार आहे? मिनिमम किती पाहिजे 0.8%. मॅक्झिमम किती पाहिजे 0.6%. ओके मॅक्झिमम किती असायला पाहिजे 0.6%. So you can calculate the percentage of steel over here. What is the percentage of steel? It is 100 into ASC divided by 500 into 500. So it is 1.48% we have provided, which is okay. Okay. So percentage ASC, it is 100 into 3703.02 divided by BD. So it is 500 by 500 column dimension. So it works out to be 1.48%. So which is okay. So it is greater than 0.8 and less than 6%. Greater than 0.8 and less than 6%. So it is okay. There is no problem in this. Okay. So now provide the steel bars. So now provide the steel bars for this. So we will take 25 mm bar diameter and then we will calculate the number of bars. So assume 25 mm bar diameter. The number of bars is equal to is 3703.02 divided by 5 by 4 into 25 square. What is the answer? It is 7.54, which is nearly equal to 8 numbers. 7. Others please do check the calculation. So calculate the ASC provided now. ASC provided. ASC provided is equal to, we are going to provide 8 bars, each of bar diameter 25 mm. So what is now ASC provided? 3926.99. Okay, 3926.99. So the question is, what is the maximum bar diameter we can provide? See, there is clause for specifying minimum diameter of the clause. There is not any clause here in the India to specify the maximum diameter of the column. So naturally, what is the maximum diameter available in the market? Market मध्ये maximum diameter चा किती बार कितीचा बार available आहे maximum diameter? You tell me. In market, which diameter is the highest diameter, largest diameter? 32 mm bar. So the maximum diameter bar will be naturally 32 mm. And if your column is such a big that 35 mm bar diameter is even though not sufficient, then you can specially give order to the company, and that company will give you the bar diameter as per your requirement. Okay. but there is a clause for minimum diameter of the column bars. So the minimum diameter should not be less than 12 mm. So minimum 12 mm तर पाहिजे, maximum ला कुठलाही clause नाही. Okay. So moving further now. So ASC provided. So ASC provided, we have calculated the value of ASC provided. Now we know the area of steel. Okay, so this is the area of steel, number of bars, 8 bars we have calculated. Now this is our longitudinal reinforcement. Now transverse reinforcement. ही जी तुम्ही provide केली, this is your longitudinal reinforcement. You have provided 8 bars. So here I can write provide 8 bars of 25 mm diameter as longitudinal reinforcement. Longitudinal means along the length. Longitudinal reinforcement. Now lateral reinforcement. Lateral reinforcement means ties. Okay. So the diameter of lateral ties. Diameter of lateral ties. Let it be 5. काय असायला पाहिजे? कोडनी काय सांगितलेलं आहे? It should be 1/4 of the largest bar diameter in the longitudinal reinforcement. So 1/4. Largest bar diameter is 25 mm. So it is round about 6 mm. 6 point something. Okay, 6 point something. So we will provide 6 mm. आता लक्षात घ्या, हे जर 6 पेक्षा कमी आलं तरी पण 6 mm प्रोव्हाइड करा. ओके, 6 पेक्षा जास्त आलं 6.1 6.2 तरी तुम्ही 6 mm प्रोव्हाइड करू शकता, किंवा तुम्ही यू कॅन गो फॉर 8 mm ऑल्सो. Okay, nowadays in market 6 mm bar diameter bars are not available, so you can go for 8 mm. Okay, you can go for 8 mm. Okay, so we can provide 6 mm also and 8 mm also. Okay, choice is yours, there is no problem. So here for time being, now for our learning designing this, I will keep it as 6 mm. Okay, so the diameter of the lateral ties is 6 mm. I have taken. Now calculate the spacing. आता मला स्टिरप्सचा बार डायमीटर माहित झाला की 6 mm आहे. 6 mm चा माझा बार डायमीटर असणार आहे स्टिरप्सचा. मग त्याचं मला स्पेसिंग कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं आहे. Now spacing, that is pitch. Okay, the first condition for the spacing as per IS code. Okay, clause number 26.5.3.2c, page number 49. त्याच्यावरचे clause बघा. First, least lateral dimension. Okay, first is what? Least lateral dimension. Least lateral dimension of column. So least lateral dimension is 500 mm. दोन्ही पण 500 आहेत. आता या केस मध्ये both the dimensions are 500 by 500. If it is 200 by 500, then you should take here 200 least. Okay, so this is first. Second is what? Second, it is 16d. Okay, 16 times the smallest bar diameter of the longitudinal reinforcement. Okay, so here it is 16 into, we can say 5, 16 5. Okay, so it is 16 into 25. So how much it is? 16 into 25? It is 400 mm. And third, in no case it should be 300 mm. In no case it should be 300 mm. Okay, so now consider the least of these two. Least of these two. So provide 6 mm diameter ties about 300 mm center to center. 600 diameter ties about 300 mm center to center. Okay, so now we will show you the reinforcement details. So this is the design of the column which is over now. Now we will draw the reinforcement details. So this is the column. This is the column. Then I will draw inside the stirrup. That is this. This is the stirrup. Now how many bars we have provided? We have provided, I think, 8 bars of 25 mm. No, 8 bars. So this is first bar, second, third. For your understanding, I am drawing exact bar. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for the column, always try to provide the even number of bars. Remember this. For column, always try to provide the even number of bars. Okay. This is your ring stirrup. Okay. So now, so this is sufficient. See, this is your stirrup which is 6 mm diameter, about 300 mm center to center. And now these are the reinforcement bars. These are 8 bars of 25 mm in the column. So if you want to strengthen more to this column, okay, असं तर तुम्ही टाईट जरी केलं तरी it is okay, it is not wrong. But if you want to provide the additional ring reinforcement, additional stirrups, then you can also tie these bars like this. So this can be tied like this also. This is not mandatory. This is not mandatory. Okay, you can provide the outer stirrups also. But in addition to this, if you want more, what we can say, strength, then you can provide the column also in the reinforcement in this way also. So this red, whatever I have shown in the red, this is your transverse reinforcement. This is your transverse reinforcement. And now whatever I have shown here, this is in this color. This is your longitudinal reinforcement. Yes, longitudinal reinforcement. And this is the cross section of column. This dimension is 500. You can show it up to here, this dimension and this dimension. This is 500 mm and this is also 500 mm. Okay. So in this way you are going to design the column. Okay. In this way you are going to design the column. So in next lecture we will take one or two examples on the column and then we will cover our last unit. Okay. So today we will stop over here. In the next lecture we will take further points. Now drop your roll number into the chat box.